What's going on, everyone? It's Zach with the Wicked Heavy Podcast. And in this episode, I sit down with Noel Ruiz, mastermind behind the project Wocket Launcher. And yes, that is Wocket, Wocket Launcher. Man, I really was excited to talk to Noel. Basically, I saw a story by Andy from Thus Spoke Zarathustra, a previous podcast guest. He posted this EP. He said, "This is like the best thing I've heard all year." So I'm like, what? I got to check this out because the cover of it is so wild. It's like this little purple figure with a potato gun. I'm like, okay, how can this really be heavy? Well, it is. It's unbelievable. Noel has created something truly unique. It's like going back to the days of My Bitter End. I'm sure some of you know that band, mixed with everything you like about deathcore, but also melodic deathcore. And I'm really blown away by this dude's talent and what he's put together in this release. And I know there's more music coming too, which is awesome. So I hit him up. I just DM'd him like, "You want to come on the pod?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, dude." So we made it happen. Noel, I really appreciate you coming on. I enjoyed our conversation a lot. And I hope that you all enjoy this episode with Noel Ruiz of Wocket Launcher on the Wicked Heavy Podcast. Noel, my man, thanks for coming on the pod. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you, man.
Dude, I'm doing very well. And for those listening, this is my first time ever speaking with Noel. Hit him up because I just discovered his band, his project, Wocket Launcher, and I'm super into it. And I was like, dude, I got to talk to this kid because this rips. So hell yeah, here we are, man.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
My bro, as we have not spoken before, where are you in, I'm assuming, the US, and
Yes, sir.
what you got going on, dude?
Okay, so I'm in Texas, San Antonio.
Cool.
This is my fourth project.
Nice.
This is probably one of the first ones that I'm truly happy with because I don't know, I feel like I've grown a lot since my last few months. I took a break from everything for a bit.
Okay.
I just kind of came back to it slowly. I don't know. It was just it's been kind of weird adjusting to like being back in the public again, but slowly but surely getting used to it.
Yeah, man. And correct me if I'm wrong. This is kind of like your first time, I guess, like getting interviewed or talking about the project from what I saw when you posted, like, hey,
Definitely.
debut. Okay. That's so sick, man. So yeah, the way I discovered you, and I had mentioned this, I did a podcast with Andy, vocalist from Thus Spoke Zarathustra. I always kind of mess that up. Sorry, guys. And he made a story and he said, "This is like my favorite release this year." So I was like, well, knowing what he said and what we talked about in our pod, I'm going to go check this out. And yeah, dude, I'm sincerely blown away because
I appreciate you.
Yeah, dude, no worries. No, but like really, like as someone who grew up on like a lot of like, of course, metalcore and deathcore, but like also like I have like Dream Theater was one of my favorite first bands, like all this stuff, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard metalcore. I'm gonna call it more so like metalcore, and like it's of course deathcore too, but like this in a long time, like My Bitter End vibes, All Shall Perish.
Band, of course, yeah.
Yeah, dude, and like Unearth, like I'm hearing all these things, Black Dahlia Murder, the melodic side of Black Dahlia Murder. So I was like, dude, this it's just so good, bro. So hats off to you.
Thank you so much, man. Like, yeah, like you're spot on with the influences.
Cool.
Like, all those a lot of those are just like some of my favorite ones, like you mentioned, like Unearth especially. I think every time I hear them, I think about. So did you ever play Guitar Hero World Tour? Gonna nerd out a bit.
I must have. My buddy had it at college, and I played a lot of. I think it was Garage Band more so, but
the band and everything. Yeah. So there was a Ferret track pack, Ferret Metal Blade, and it had had Prada, had Chimera. I don't know how to pronounce the band's name. Dude, so many good bands, but Grave of Opportunity by Unearth was on that DLC.
No kidding.
The second I heard that intro with the twin leads, I was just hooked. Like,
yeah,
I think from there on, I just knew like I loved the like melodic side for sure.
There's something about it, and I remember like when I first got into, I'll call it like metalcore early on, it had to have the melodic side.
For sure.
It just the side that gave me goosebumps, right? So I totally get it, man. But I did have this question. Did you write all aspects of the music, like the whole EP? Like, is it all you?
Yeah. I was honestly bored. So after everything kind of fizzled out my last band, and I kind of just decided to like take a break from everything.
Yeah.
I started writing a bit. I wrote some stuff like out of genre or out of my usual genre. So I made a little like five track like emo EP. It was kind of weird. I mixed like emo with like kind of like the more blasty melodic sections of Number 12, like earlier stuff like Nuclear Said Nuclear and like Mongrel and stuff like that. Like those two albums are so good.
Yes.
And like a few ska influences. After I left, for some reason, I randomly just got like super into NoFX. I'm actually wearing the shirts from that album, but like
there you go.
Um,
Sick.
I don't know. I just feel like after taking a break, everything my taste definitely like kind of started widening a bit. So I started trying to like incorporate a lot more like skate punk kind of sounding stuff into like the metalcore sound too.
Cool.
I don't know. It's just it all just kind of started coming out like little demos because I was just kind of bored and I randomly decided to start wanted to write in drop C because I'd never written in that tuning before.
Okay.
And so I had a 6-string that was in that tuning. It's actually like a little Squire Telecaster, and I was honestly surprised. Like like it's like a little. I think it was like $110. I got it on sale.
That's what you recorded this with?
Yeah, only 2 tracks. Neural DSP stuff is crazy, man. Like it's okay. I was honestly shocked like how Noel made it. Like it just sounded so like thick and like punchy. So,
it's so thick, dude.
I was super happy with it. I love their products. But they'd all just started as demos, and eventually I had like four songs together, and then I had an extra song that I ended up scrapping that I'm gonna rewrite for the full length coming up for sure.
Oh, sick.
I ended up having those. So I had 4 songs total, scrapped one, made the El Shall Perish cover, and I was showing my girlfriend the tracks, and she honestly told me she's honestly the one that like really pushed me to like release this and kind of get back out there again. So shout out to her for sure.
Shout out to the girlfriend. Thank you for doing that because I love it too. And I think a lot of people do, man. I think you got.
I appreciate it.
It's just so sick. And as a drummer, because I'm a drummer, like I was like, wow, this drummer is sick. Now, did you write the drum parts?
Yes, it's MIDI, of course.
Yeah, and then come to find out, right? Because like for me, I'm like, I guess I'm a very positive, hopeful guy. And I'm like, this drummer's sick. This is definitely like a person because it sounds real, bro. I did appreciate that. Job.
Okay, so I've always liked to like try to make sure if I were to like, it's gonna sound a little cheesy, but like if I were to like close my eyes, I want to like make sure I could like imagine a drummer in the studio with the mics all around the kit hitting those parts. Yeah. Like studio diary videos or stuff like that, or like
yeah.
Do you remember that old? I want to say it was Alex Riedinger. It was a playthrough of Unfurling the Darkened Gospel for Drop Forward Cowboy.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that. I always try to like imagine stuff like that whenever like I'm like beating drums. Dude, I used to be terrible at it. Full disclosure. I used to 127 everything. Like it was so bad.
What does that mean?
Okay, so you can like control the velocity when you're MIDIing, or like when you're programming the MIDI for the drums, and I'd have everything at the max velocity. So there was like a blast beat, which sounded like yeah, exactly, like it's called that one Ingested album, Surpassing the Boundaries, like the like just machine gun sounding drums and everything.
Okay. No, this to me, I was like, man, it's hard to tell. And I just thought what you did in terms of like the double bass patterns and just the fills, I was like, this is like, I feel like this is what someone would do, and it's perfect for the song. So that's why I appreciate just love it, because like I'm like, man, I could drum cover some of this. Maybe, but yeah, dude, I think you definitely just a ripper overall. I appreciate that. So yeah, I am loving it, and I'm thankful it exists because it just brought me back. I'm like 34 years old, so like I think back to like 2000, maybe 4, 5, 6 is like what I'm hearing, and like 7, 8 too. But yeah, that's like to me like the quintessential time of all this metal and deathcore. So cool,
honestly,
man.
I feel like I'm kind of a poser because like I was way too young to like experience during that time.
So that was this is interesting. Yeah. So how does someone essentially 10 years younger than me, right? Mm-hmm. How do you? It's funny, like me thinking you discovering the bands I'm talking about when they were around like prime time when I was 13, 14, 15, 16. You're like young at that point. You don't know. So how did you get into all this stuff?
So my brother honestly wasn't even really the biggest fan of the genre. Like he liked some stuff. Like he liked I guess the heaviest thing I could say he liked would be do you remember Mice and Men's cover of Poker Face?
Yeah.
Okay, so like remember when that was floating around on LimeWire? We had that on our we had LimeWire on our family computer, just the golden terrible age.
Right.
And I had that, and I remember hearing it, and I was like, "This is dope." So I just I scoured the internet trying to find more stuff like that. I found some stuff off their what's it called, their self-titled album. And then I remember, because that was my 5th grade year, and that same year I was hanging out with a friend, and he was like, "Dude, you ever heard of this song called Dragon Pie?" And I was like, "The fuck is Dragon Pie? Like, that sounds dope." So I looked it up. I don't know if you remember like one video. I think I had the lyrics on one side of the screen, and the Knights of the Abyss was just flashing in over and over and over again. It was that video.
I feel like I must have seen that.
I think it was the demo version too. Because it had the whole like, "It's coming, dude. No, it's coming. Wait for it's coming" before the breakdown. And I heard those two things that just kind of set me on my path.
What were you listening to before then? Like
a lot of like the stereotypical like emo pop punk stuff. So like Blink-182, Fall Out Boy, Taking Back Sunday, like just the usual stuff. I was obsessed with Mike Kevin for like the longest time.
Yeah. Hey man, a lot of people were and still are.
For sure.
That's interesting. So music was always around. Did you like seek it out? Was it your brother that kind of influenced you? Take me back to like, hey, this is music. Let me explore music.
Partially, my brother also like so when we were growing up, I got like his hand-me-downs, so to speak. So we shared the consoles and everything.
Okay.
A lot of he started me into the Tony Hawk games. He wasn't really the biggest fans, but like I got obsessed with them. So that of course was another gateway too.
Sick.
Dude, the American Wasteland album, like the cover album with like all like the modern bands covering like the classic hardcore punks. It was so
dude.
That was just so formative, I guess. And I think that also is just something I really try to like incorporate. It sounds so goofy. I think it's just something I try to like bring in when I write. I think it's also like I have like a lot of like really like like cheesy lyrics, like they're all just silly. The Tony Hawk video and everything. Cause it's really just a love letter to like growing up.
That's so cool, man. I mean, because I can hear some of the softer parts. I'm like, this is like a Taking Back Sunday part. But it's sick because I'm like, this is great. It's just
there's a ska section on the full length too. So.
Oh, hey man, why not? If that's what you dig and that's what was formulaic for you, then let it rip, dude. Because you got something going on for sure.
I appreciate it. Like, I think with like a lot of the like genre bending stuff too, I try to be like, Between the Berry and Me.
Yeah.
Like how like they just go from one thing to another just so fluid.
Absolutely.
And I try to bring that with like switching stuff up.
Yeah. And I like that because I'm like, oh man, this is like you just like ripped some tremolo like stuff. We got like the double bass, and now it's going into this like freaking sick syncopated breakdown to a softer part. Yeah, and it's good shit, man.
Appreciate it.
So, okay, you hear of Mice and Men, and then you start seeking out other stuff like that. So how old are you at this point? And what are you getting into?
Maybe like 9, 10, or 10, 11. So there was that, and just there's Dragon Pie. From there on, it just goes, like the whole YouTube recommendations and stuff like that. Like finding it sounds cool. And then my brother had a friend. She put me onto Asking Alexandria because she was playing it whenever she picked him up, and I was like, what is this? She put me on the final episode. And then of course Smosh too. I was a huge Smosh fan. So when they did Sex Ed Rocks and 4 Years Foreplay, I just got super into Ismov. They're still one of my favorite bands. I've met Matt like twice, and every single time, like, both the times, he's just been so chill. Definitely one of the coolest people
sick. Wow. Rad, man. And then, so that's 5th grade, 6th grade-ish. When did you start going to shows?
Okay, so very funny story. All right, so my very first concert or show was technically when I was 4 or 5.
Me too.
I saw Journey, Heart, and Cheap Trick with my mom and my brother. It was really awesome. Super dope.
Wow.
And I didn't go to one for I want to say maybe almost 10 years. And then when I was 13, Rings of Saturn came with Auras, Animus, and Arsonists. That was my first time hearing Arsonists and getting to them, which got me so absorbed into the more mathy, chaotic side for sure.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was that tour, and my dad took me, and this is a very funny story because my dad was not cool with the metal crowd or anything at all. So I was wanting to get in the pit and everything. He was holding me back and everything, and there was a guy that was, I'm assuming, very drunk that was behind him, who didn't realize my dad was not part of it at all. And so he starts trying to push my dad in the pit. My dad turns around and starts yelling at the dude, and I'm just trying to calm him. It's so bad, man. That was my first one, and then around that time too, I started going with my friends to the local shows and everything. So we started trying to form a band and everything.
This is in San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
Nice. What was the scene like? And is there still one?
Oh, definitely. It's gone through phases, I like to say. But also I haven't really been as connected into as I wanted to be because I don't know. I had really terrible like social anxiety back then. I just felt I had a lot of issues going out. I had a lot of issues going to shows and stuff like that. And
yeah, all good.
so it's just I didn't really like go and like get to like be like as involved as I wanted to be, but like it definitely has just thrived. At least to me, like I've just always seen like a lot of activity at shows, especially with the local bands.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I first started like coming out, or whenever I first started going to them, there was a lot more focus on the like synthy metalcore stuff, which was really dope back then. There's a lot of cool bands that were doing it, and then it started transitioning more over to like the whole like fighty hardcore stuff. And lately, there's been a lot of deathcore revival I've seen. Again, I'm probably wrong about that, but like I've seen a lot of like deathcore bands coming out of like San Antonio and just the Texas area in general, and it's been awesome.
I mean, like deathcore is back. I don't think it ever left. Like I always loved it, and there's still the OGs always doing it, but like there definitely seems to be younger bands coming out.
There's also just this like I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like a lot of the bands now have the same energy that like a lot of the bands like you remember like seeing bands that would post video diaries like the Irish Friends and stuff like that back then. They just have a lot of the more like the I guess like the DIY feel to them nowadays.
Yep.
It's not so wanting to be just like only focused on professionalism. They're still like showing like a lot of their like fun side to them too, and I feel like that's been missing for a bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's like because like I think about like the different I don't even know what to call this, like the Call of Duty thing you have, like the additions of those cool themes or moments in the songs. Like I think back to bands like Devil Wears Prada in like let's say it's 2008. Every band like that would have some funny intro song like playing, like if The Office or whatever, and all of a sudden it just goes into like the sickest breakdown. I lived for that. I would like look on YouTube like Devil Wears Prada intro Office or whatever it was, because there was something about that like
what was that other one, man?
Happy goofy
SpongeBob
shit.
Grind Pants.
Yeah, stuff like that, man. It's just like, well, it was just so fun. Wow. When did you pick up guitar then? I mean, what else do you play too?
I picked up guitar when I was in 3rd grade. I was kind of on again, off again with it.
Okay.
I didn't touch it for like 3 years, and I started practicing. And then around the time when I started writing for Wocket. But yeah, so I started in 3rd grade. At first I was just learning like the basic stuff.
Yeah.
I was taking lessons for a bit. But I think I don't know in some weird way. I would kind of like derail the lessons because I was just kind of like I guess I just wanted someone to jam with more than anything. So like a lot of the lessons would just kind of become like like me asking my teacher to give me some like riffs to do. I'd harmonize with him.
Yeah.
Because I was always just seeking it out, man. I think like I guess even dating back to before 5th grade, The Trooper by Iron Maiden. When I heard that when I was like way younger, like probably 4 or 5, that intro just blew my mind. Dragon Force is another band too that just like blew me away.
So crazy.
I still love them, man. Like no shame at all. They're one of my favorite bands for sure.
No, they rip, dude. They're always at the festivals. Everyone loves a guitar player. He's got a sick YouTube channel. Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's so like chill. Like his Twitch and everything. He seems like such a nice guy.
Yeah. Wow. And that's you ripping on the album or the EP, bro. It's like really good.
Thank you.
So you took a big break. Like, how long of the break before you ended up coming back to guitar and ripping that EP?
2.5 years to maybe 3 years.
Wow.
So I stopped I kind of started sinking into like a depression before my last band kind of fizzled out. So our last few shows were just rough. I sucked.
Yeah.
I sucked as a person. I sucked as a musician. Like I'm disappointed in myself really, but I feel like now just kind of going
strong
into it
with this, man.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, just hopefully. I don't know. I started practicing a lot of the older stuff from my older bands and stuff too, because I feel like with muscle memory, it was easier for me to like, kind of like maneuver myself around the fretboard and everything.
Yeah.
And like stuff I used to practice a lot too. Like It's Not Safe to Swim Today with Veiled Maya. I think before I started writing the Wocket tracks, I made a little cover demo of that for just for shits and giggles too. So.
Which song specifically by Veiled?
It's Not Safe to Swim Today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Man, their first album.
So solid, dude.
Hold on. There's a breakdown. I have to look up the name of the song.
I feel like I know which one you're talking about.
I go back to it all the time. I just wish I remembered the name of it. All right, so The Common Man's Collapse and We Bow in Its Aura.
Okay,
that song.
That's the other one I was thinking about. So nuts. The whole track is nuts.
Dude, it's so good, man. Oh, that's
that one
that's
and
fire.
that one in entry level exit wounds where it's like do 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 do. It's so it blows my mind. Like literally just like mind bending shit.
That album truly ripped. Wow. Okay, so yeah, what are other bands at the time like that? I guess were maybe like when I was, let's say 14, 15, 16, my top 3 at the time was Under Oath, The Devil Wears Prada, and Bring Me the Horizon. Like I compared everyone to those bands because they were just my favorite, right? As I Lay Dying was in and out of that, but
for sure,
those were like my 3. Who were like your like core bands? Like you were just like so into.
So at that point, that was like my freshman year. I don't want to say. So I was like heavily diving through like the Blogspot pages for like the like for like the MySpace bands and shit like that. Because at that point I was consumed. Like I got the bug. So dude, I want to say In Carpathia for sure.
Ooh, I gotta look them. I don't know who that is. That's sick. New to me. I guess not.
So We're at the End was another band from like the MySpace era, from California, I think. And one of their members, I think, was the guitarist in Carpathia. I might be wrong about that. So
but that name sounds familiar. How do you spell it? Just so I can look it up on my Spotify and have it for after this.
INCAR.
Pathia.
Yeah, super good, man.
Thank you.
I think they're still definitely one of my biggest influences too. It's really, really just riffy shit. A lot of soft spots too. Like they're really good at like blending stuff too, for sure.
Okay.
So there was them, Ismafoff as well, and this time probably a tough choice between either Limp Bizkit, because I started getting back into new metal at that time too, and probably Tiny Moving Parts, because that's when I started getting into like Midwest emo.
Oh wow! Ooh, this is quite the list, my friend. Yeah, big fan. What's your favorite Bizkit song?
Either Full Nelson. I feel like that's such a tough fucking song.
Yeah, that's my favorite song.
It's like the toughest. It's like tougher. It's like the tougher version of Break Stuff. You know what I mean?
Dude, that is their best song. I think. I really think.
Also, like one of the like heaviest Wes Borlanders too. Like that intro just punches you, man. It's so crazy. That one and Out of Style from the new album was such a good return to form, man.
It is.
I think I've always loved them. Like,
is that the intro track?
I think so. Where it's like down, down, like, down. Yeah, dude. Where he's doing the crazy whammy shit. So good,
bro. I can't believe you said. I've never met anyone else that thinks that's their like best song. Full Nelson.
It's just so tough,
dude. And the fact that he brings people on stage currently to like do. He's been doing it for a while, but to come and do it, I would do anything to go on stage with Fred and do that part in Full Nelson. Why is everybody always picking on me? Why is everybody always picking on me? Yeah, dude, it's so tough. Oh god, that's good.
Dude, that is good. Limp, have you seen their cover of Sanitarium?
I feel like I saw it maybe on YouTube. Didn't click, but is it sick?
It's really well done, dude. Even like the members of Metallica were like you can tell they were fucking with it. Like they actually really did a good job. Even cooler thing too is that the solo, instead they took the actual like solo like the guitar take from Sanitarium, and DJ Lethal just scratched the solo for the solo section. It was
that's sick.
Super nuts, man. Like it's got to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I definitely.
That's what I love. Like still the original members. Like there's just I don't know. Dude, Fred commented on like one of the reels for this podcast, and I was like,
really?
Yeah, dude. My buddy Kyle came on. He talked about how we went to a Limp Bizkit show, and Fred pulled him on stage. This was like in 2000, and Fred like commented like fire symbols, and I was like, no way, bro.
He seems like such a chill dude.
He's so cool, man. I really love that band. Them and Korn, those are like my two. I just saw Korn 2 weekends ago, and like I was in heaven, man. I was in heaven.
That sounds awesome. They're one of the bands I've wanted to see for every time they've come here. I've always missed them because either I was too young to go, or I was just in trouble at school for some reason. Because my friend used to always go, and I was devious bullshit who had missing assignments all the time. So
yeah. Oh man, dude, if you ever get the chance, like they're still killing it.
I heard they put on the hell of a show, man. That's what I've heard.
Hell of a show. They began with Here to Stay, and I was like. I was just like I was like, I knew it was coming, and he's like, here we go, down, daga.
That's another thing too. They seem to just like a lot of new metal bands, like even though like they've like they've gotten older, of course, but they just seem to still have the same amount of energy. Like
Dude,
It's
they got it.
impressive.
Like, Fieldy wasn't playing. I think he's taking some time off, some like rehab stuff. But the whole band was killing it. And like Head and Monkey, just watching them like do their thing and still
Oh,
look
for
like they're
sure.
doing it from 1999. It's just like gets me going, man. I freaking love that band so much. They really changed my life. Um, so sick, dude. All right, so yeah, that was such an interesting list. I'm definitely gonna look up a lot of those bands that you were vibing out to. Wow. And then when did you start joining bands?
So my first band, Eternally Beheaded, was when I was in. I guess I started it when I was in like seventh grade with my friends.
Cool.
I used to just kind of practice in my friend's garage. Half of it was practicing, half of it was just doing really dumb shit with like the
Yeah.
various toys and items in his garage.
Yeah.
Very fond memory of actually what time is. I want to say it was like when eighth grade year. We actually started getting more serious. This is around the time we had an EP out and everything. And
Cool.
his mom had come home from work, and we're in the garage, and we're waterboarding me with Coca-Cola. And his mom just opens the door and sees this, and she's like, "What the hell are y'all doing?" And we all just kind of stop, and she sees me like with the shirt like covered in Coca-Cola moving from my head, and she just closed the door and left. It was just there was so much weird shit going on back then, but
You just didn't know what to do.
so yeah, there was that, and then afterwards I was just kind of like I don't know. Afterwards, so the band had kind of like two phases of lineups, which was my fault because I just kind of like I feel like in every band I've had prior to like Wocket, which isn't really a band, but like I know I always had some sort of issue.
I
Unfortunately,
got
like
you.
in Throne, I was really just egotistical. I want to say like just super control freak oriented, and I just did not focus on like letting the other members have fun, which I think I regret so much, dude.
Which band
Because
was this? So
Throne
the
to be
first
added.
one.
My
Okay,
first band.
Throne. Okay, I got it now. Throne of the Beheaded.
Um,
That's a sick name.
Thank you. But like even though like like it's bittersweet because like like as much as like I'm very like resentful towards the person I used to be, I still like look back on those memories of like my friends because they definitely made it better. And
Yeah,
they like
it's
formulated a
cool,
lot of
man.
music. So there was that. And then afterwards, my second like serious band was Desolate Blight. And then I unfortunately my issue with that was just I was super big into like just misusing substances. I became like a devious, evil being. Like I just sucked.
Wow.
I was unfortunately terrible to everyone. Just like friends, family, and everything.
Yeah.
That's what led to it fizzling out, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have a lot of regrets there, like more than anything. But I think I also needed to be away from music. I think,
Okay.
like, how do I say this? It's like, I feel like I needed to literally just kind of be on my own and live with myself and live with like my thoughts and like, kind of just focus. I was like, that shit has to
Yeah.
change.
Just
You know what I mean?
figure it out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like realize, like the whole like thing of like you can't really help, you can't help someone unless like they want help. Like, because I got to that point, unfortunately. So
Right.
there was those
Right.
two, and they gave me a lot of experience for sure.
Yeah.
With marketing, with how the game works, essentially, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a
Mm-hmm.
term. Um,
No, why not?
but it gave me a lot of experience, man. I'm very grateful for them. And then after Desolate, it took a bit, and then kind of got back on the wagon. Started making Locket.
Yeah. When did that start?
Um, wow, that actually just hit me with a bit of a bomb. I didn't realize it. I started writing the songs this year, February.
Wow.
Um, so I want to say the demo songs for the first demo were like kind of finished skeleton wise around March this year, and then
Cool.
started like kind of making changes. I added so originally Cinnamon Candy was like 3 minutes long. I hated that song, and then I had a different song which is titled Homebrew Channel or like Nintendo Wii Homebrew Channel Tutorial, and
There
then
you go.
that one's a bit more of like a kind of more technical like Job for a Cowboy sounding one, like like
Cool.
Genesis era. It just
Yeah.
felt like it didn't
Damn.
really fit though, so I kind of scrapped it, saved it for the full length, and I'm actually really excited for how that one's coming along too.
That's sick.
But I scrapped that one and added a lot more to Cinnamon Candy and turned it into like this whole thing. Originally, it was just the first section, like the intro breakdown after the candy sample, the first few riffs, a little bit like half of the solo, and then it ended there. It went to the little into the like the thrice sounding breakdown thing, and the
Yeah.
thrice breakdown was only half the duration.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know. I didn't like it, so I just kept listening to it until I was like, I like this more. So around
Yeah.
April, May, I was fully done with those tracks. And that's when I recorded the Eradication cover, just because I really wanted to do something for fun for the cover.
Now on that, are the covers on the EP, or are these on something different?
So the cover's on the EP.
Which track is it?
It's the last one, but it's only on the Bandcamp and YouTube versions because I'm broke at the moment and couldn't afford the license. But I'm gonna get the cover on Spotify.
Okay. I was like looking for it. I was like, I feel like these 4 are originals. I don't see a cover on this.
Oh no, I got you. Yeah,
a Spotify boy.
Someone actually uploaded it on YouTube too, which I'm very thankful for because I haven't been able to get to it. But yeah, it's like a small like an underground metal channel, really dope. So super stoked that they did that.
Wow.
So there was that, and then so the others were like maybe April, May. In June, I tracked the vocals and wrote the lyrics, just kind of like for boredom.
I can't believe it's you doing the vocals too, because they're sick.
I appreciate it, Twins, man.
When did you know you could do that?
I did a few vocals in my earlier bands, mostly just in Throne of the Beheaded, in Desolate Blight. I did some vocals kind of. I had a section on one of the songs. I say so much, man.
Dude, you're good, bro. So do I.
How do I describe this? Okay, so I had a section on one of these tracks where it was, like how Invent Animate has those really melodic passages where it's kind of ambient, and then like
of course,
Ben, like this is a lot more common on their older stuff, but Ben will be doing the kind of like shouting thing.
Yes.
You're like we are one. I forgot the words. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it was basically that. I used to do a lot of those, in the background for the songs. Desolate Blight was a bit more. What's the word? A lot more like kind of feelsier stuff. It was just generally a darker thing.
Yeah.
I think it also just kind of goes hand in hand too with like the music was so dark because we were all just kind of hurting at the moment. So
yeah,
for sure. So I did that then, but I hadn't really done like full focus on a song ever since I was in Throne. I would do covers every once in a while just for fun, but I never really uploaded them anywhere.
Yeah. You was playing music for the sake of playing music. That's cool, man.
So yeah, like at some point I was just like, fuck it, I can still kind of do the highs. So I still have my mic and everything, so I just tracked them and I showed it to my girlfriend. And she was like, "You really should just release this." And I don't know, I didn't want to, but I don't know. She encouraged me, so I appreciate her a lot for that, for sure.
Yeah, dude, it's sick. It's good stuff. How did you do? And this is like just education for me. Like the bass. Was that you, or how did you like?
Wow. I had a bass, but I loaned it to my friend because he needed one for a band, and I figured I'd just let him use it or let him keep it because he was using it more than I was, and he was playing shows with it. So yeah, I figured.
Nice boy, you're a nice dude.
Appreciate it, but originally cool. I had tracked the bass with so I used like a pitch pedal, like
Wow.
I can't find it, but I have a it's a little I want to say it's a not Digitech, Electro-Harmonix Pitchfork. It's okay. So it's kind of like a whammy pedal. You can set the pitch and everything, lash it up and down, and you can also put an expression pedal to kind of get the whole Digitech whammy thing going on too.
Yeah.
I set it to an octave lower and then plugged it into my interface and then tracked like kind of like bass lines using my guitar. But I didn't like that. I don't know what the word would be, but it just did not feel stable. It had like a really nice raw percussive sound that I liked a lot.
Yeah.
But I also was kind of like not happy with the fact that you couldn't hear the individual notes that well, like they weren't really articulated properly. And I wanted, I wanted to get that like. Just so many bands did it. I think Conducting from the Grave is a big example where you could like hear the bass playing like clear as day, playing the same shit as the guitar, kind of like even just harmonizing with the guitar.
Really good at that.
I wanted to get that so down, and so I ended up just kind of like remitting the bass.
That's so sick, man. The idea of like the bass and the guitars lining up, right? You ever listen to Dying Fetus at all?
Oh, for sure.
Dude, absolutely. I can't. My buddy Evan, I've said this probably in like 4 of the podcasts I've done, but he put me on to like true, I'll call it like brutal death metal.
Oh, for sure.
This past year, and Fetus was like the first band he really showed me. Dude, I went down a deep hole with. I still am. I mean, I love them. I can't believe what they can play. I can't believe it.
Every time I see them doing vocals while playing those riffs at the same time, I want to just like pray. It scares me. They're terrifying.
Oh, we saw them like 2 times in 1 year, and just saw them again. Like, I cannot believe what those 3 dudes can play.
Dude, they are so insanely tight live. Another band that's really tight live is Suffocation.
Oh yeah, one of those G's too. Good. Yeah, man, dude, yeah, it's just like no one else can really do that, and like I really think Make Them Beg for Death. Like for me, the latest album,
one of the greatest.
Front to back, it's like unbelievable.
I got it on tape, and I feel like I feel worried I'm gonna fucking wear it out. It's just so good.
It's so good, dude.
All of the like every single just like slow, like I'm blanking on the track name, but it has like a sweep, like a little solo before it, and then it goes into like
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
I have to like hit air. It goes so nuts.
Yeah, my favorite. I would say my favorite track on that album is when the trend ends. I don't know what it is about that song. So fire, dude! What a sick band. We're going to see them with Black Dahlia Murder on November 2nd.
Oh, that lineup looks so clean, man.
Dude, it's crazy.
I need to go to that.
You gotta go, dude.
I gotta try for sure.
Fuck yeah, man! So sick. All right, so you did vocals, you did the guitars. Now there's 2 guitar tracks, right? Like you did both, obviously. Yeah, unreal, man. I'm like really blown away by that. That's some talent right there, bro. Yeah, absolutely rips. I mean, who are some of your like go-to, it's like guitar inspirations, but I have to assume there's some people that you admire.
This question always stumps me because there's so many that I just love, man. And like it's really, I feel like that seems like such a cliche answer, but like
bands.
It just goes so far. Like it's just Todd Duane. He's a guitarist, does solo stuff, and he's also in this group called Electrocution 250. I got into them through the Clone Hero Guitar Hero community because they have this like so. The best way to describe
there's a Guitar Hero community.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's actually thriving like really well lately, man. I've been really happy about it.
That's awesome.
There's this album called I think it's like Electrical Cartoon Music from Hell. And the best way to describe it is like if Danny Elfman, like, you know, the Futurama Simpsons soundtracks were just like written as a fucking like a grind, like a jazz grind album. It is one of the coolest things I've ever heard.
That's crazy. Wait, I'm still stuck on this community thing. Is this like on Reddit or something?
Just in general. So after the series kind of died with Guitar Hero Live, it kind of was like still alive a bit with Guitar Hero 3 on PC because you can mod the game, put custom songs in there and everything. And then there was this game that came out called Clone Hero. It's an open source like clone of Guitar Hero. You can like put the games in there. People ported the songs from the games in there. It grew a lot, man. There's like there's multiplayer now. There's drum support, bass support. It's just gotten nuts. Same thing for the Tony Hawk community too. It's you know, again, it's not like as big as it used to be back then, but it's still thriving. The game I was playing in the Bakugan video is called Rethawed. It's a mod of American Wasteland. You can play the game online still. New graphics. There's a lot of crazy shit that into it. It's honestly to see like it's honestly so cool to see like how much these games are still alive, even though like they just kind of feel like abandoned by their publishers.
Oh, that's sick, man. Is there like someone out there that's regarded as currently still like one maybe the best Guitar Hero ripper there is?
Definitely up for debate. So
wow.
There's this guy, a Wise Moose, who went and just 100%ed and got like the highest possible score on every single on disc and DLC song in the game. His YouTube's crazy. He like the thing is like this is like actually like a regular thing people just go for nowadays because the game is so far past its like original being release stage, so where people just kept playing the game and got like disgustingly good. Like,
wow,
dude, the thing is, like, the crazy thing that like shocks me is that I'll see people hitting like inhuman things and they'll have like 11 subscribers, and like even like the like more popular players will still listen to the shit and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like it's so crazy.
It's like Dance Dance Revolution, but with
yes,
Guitar
literally.
Hero.
I don't know if you ever experienced this, but like you'd ever just go to like some like, you know, like a sandwich shop or something, and there's just some kid going like ape shit on the DDR machine, and like you're just like, how are you not a celebrity?
That's fire, dude. Wow. I had no idea it was still a thing. That's great. Yeah, I love when like I hear things that, I don't know, nostalgic things are still like killing it. Like, you know what I miss the most? Halo 2.
There's still okay. So I mean, there's also you know about the Master Chief Collection,
right? Like the box set kind of thing.
Kind of like it's like the current game where it's they take like all of, like I think I still don't really know how to. I don't really play Halo as much as I used to, but as far as the way I view it is, the way I think it is, it's like all older maps, all older game modes, and everything. I think
you can
all
still
running
play.
Under one engine, but yeah, essentially, I think there's also definitely like an OG like Halo 2 like community too. There's actually people. So I think someone went and brought back the servers or something. I might be wrong about this, but I think someone brought back the servers.
That is so
the
crazy.
Xbox and everything. I think they even got mic like in-game mic audio working too, which is nuts.
Oh dude, that was the game, man. Like at least my online
man, I swear.
experience.
Like,
yeah, for real, right?
They will always find a way.
That's crazy. That's cool, dude. Wow. Okay, so yeah, me too. Water break, everyone.
So I've been drinking Monster this whole time. I feel like I should probably drink something that isn't.
Yeah, no, you need some water, brother. So yeah, you released it on like it sounds like multiple platforms, and it seems like the response was positive and it was pretty fast.
Scary. Like,
how did people discover it? People just
I
started
don't
sharing
know.
it, like
I
Andy,
actually have no idea. I think it's because I don't know if it's just like the whole like weirdness of like seeing like scroll. I imagine people were just scrolling through the whole like MySpace deathcore hashtag and just saw like a like logo plastered over Josh Nichols in a pointy candy hat. And was like, what the fuck is this?
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I think I just had the whole I might have just had the like confusion appeal, and I guess it worked out. I don't really know. It freaked
What's
me out
Josh?
though.
Wait, Josh Nichols. Why was that name familiar? What is that?
Drake and Josh.
So there's some other art because I only know the only thing I have visually is the cover of this EP.
Okay, so yeah, there's that. Initially, when I first dropped, so the first single was "Wonka Massing Josh Nichols," and the cover for that is just—it's a still from the episode where he has like the whole like candy bet with him, and he's wearing like the like white chocolate top hat, and he has like the candy jacket.
Yeah,
and
dude.
It's I don't know. I just
that show is so good, man.
I'm so sad it's cursed with the whole Dan Schneider shit. Like, oh man, it just sucks.
I know,
like,
dude. Yeah, I saw Drake Bell like 4 years ago. He came through Providence. I was like, I just gotta go see what this is all about, dude. Yeah, dude, it was like kind of weird.
Is he like Drake Campagna now or something? Like he's a Spanish artist now or something?
Yeah, dude, he's huge. Yeah, you're right, dude. He's huge.
That's like, crazy. He's like insanely popular there. Like,
yeah, wow.
I did not expect that.
Facts. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, it's a combination, obviously, of the music rips and too. Yeah, you got something going with like the whole aura here. What is on the cover of the EP? Like, what is this figure? Like, how did you come up with that?
So I had my friend Ivan. I messaged him and I was like, so I want to commission you for like art because I know he did graphic design. And the words I used for him were exactly like around the base of like I want like a weird pink gremlin cartoon looking guy holding a potato gun charging at the scrin who looks like
that's what those things are.
Yeah, it's a potato gun.
I was like, what are these brown things? Like, are they potatoes?
I honestly think Smiling Friends coming out was like one of the greatest things to happen because I feel like it revived a lot of the love for like the Newgrounds art style and stuff like that.
Dude, I was gonna say I don't know what Smiling Friends is, but it sounds like something that would have been on Newgrounds.com, bro. There were some fun games on there.
There's some fun games and terrifying, horrible things on there.
For real,
dude.
For real.
I loved playing Super Crazy Guitar Maniac Deluxe all the fucking time. And then
I'm trying to remember. I was like, there was something with stick figures I was playing.
There was a lot of sticker games that were dope. There was Stuntman Stick Biker. That one was dope. Yeah. The fucking Stickman Sniper game.
Yeah, that was it.
The Clear Vision.
Oh wow, that's fun, dude. Wow, bringing back. I remember
being
memories.
Like 10 years old playing Clear Vision. Like, no way, his wife left him. No,
oh
man.
My
like, I was
god. Pissed. Oh my gosh, man. Wow, memories. And that's crazy. I was 10 years before you, in terms of life, and you still played that too.
I was just kind of, I feel like I was like there like at that weird in between gap where it's like kind of shifting more towards like what Gen Z culture really is now, like what was kind of like leftover Y2K stuff was. I also think me having a brother definitely had a lot to do with it.
Oh, that's true. Yep. That's funny. And I feel like the 2000s stuff, even like stylistic wise, just coming back hardcore.
Oh, for sure. I love it.
Yeah, like I guess like Charlie XCX, like everything she's all about right now.
Yeah, the whole brat thing and like the
it's just so like it is sick, and that album is fire too. Dude,
I can't lie, my girl put me onto it, and I actually kind of fuck with it. Like,
so good, dude. It's so cool. And the fact that she is, I guess, now engaged to one of my favorite drummers, George from the 1975.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy to me. I've talked about that. Yeah, dude, and I love that band. So yeah, I'm like, I've got, I love heavy music. Don't get me wrong; it's the majority of what I listen to. But I got the pop stuff going. Chapel Roan, all about it. Dream Theater. I mean, that's heavy, but it's not like the heaviest. Got the Dream Theater hat. That's sick, dude. All right. So as of lately, what's kind of been heavy in rotation for you in terms of music?
Man, okay, so Peeling Flesh dropped a new album. Insanely good.
Yeah.
The slowed down version is also crazy good.
They released a slowed down version of their own album.
Yeah, it's not entirely chopped and screwed, but it's kind of like like a reference, like the whole like whenever artists back then want to chopped an album, it's just so dope. I actually do wish someone would chop and screw some slam. I feel like that would work. I feel like it could definitely work.
Dude.
Damn. But yeah, so the Peeling Flesh, the new Peeling Flesh album.
Okay.
And I've been really kind of diving back into like a lot of skate punk again for some reason. There's an album by this band called Deviates. I think it's called Time Is of the Essence. I found it in this guy who makes Tony Hawk, like, kind of speedrun videos. And he had Come With Me in the background, and the riff was just so dope, man. And it's like a really, it's, I don't know, man. Something about like punk bands that like back then had like a lot of more like intricate riffs, were just, they kind of like, I'm really drawn to them. Cigar is another really good one.
Cool.
Highly recommend Cigar. They have this song called
cool band
The
name.
Bind. Dude, they're so good. So check out, if you get a chance, The Bind by Cigar. It has one of the craziest build-ups I've ever heard in a song. Their drummer is nuts.
Damn.
They had the craziest thing ever. It's just, they made one album, disappeared for like 20 years, signed to Fat Records, Fat Mike's record label, and then released another album. And then I don't know, like they're just so good, man. Definitely a huge influence in some way.
Now, like old AFI, what would you call that? Is that like skate punk, or
that's
is
definitely
that
skate punk? Just it's on like a different side, dude. I cannot stress how much I love Answer That and Stay Fashionable, and oh my god, Very Proud of You. Very Proud of You is like one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah,
dude, that takes me back. So I think my gateway to that had to have been my friends and I. Do you remember back in the day at school when you'd have to do those fundraisers, and if you like sold a certain amount of candy, you could go see some like skateboard BMX show. I don't know if they did that. Okay, so like they were doing that for us.
That wasn't the award we got, but I wish it was. That's
sick. We got one, and everyone else was kind of bored. My friends and I were just going apeshit, of course, and they started playing Perfect Fit by AFI, and I immediately like fucking kind of nudged the dude because I was kind of sitting next to the sound guy, and I was like, "Yo, what song is this?" And he showed me the playlist, and I kind of like made like a mental note of the like bands in there, and like that was definitely where I just kind of like fell in love with it. Because initially I'd only really heard, of course, Miss Murder and just the December Underground. And,
okay, so you heard them like later on.
Yeah, the first time I ever really heard like old AFI, I was kind of like shocked at the stylistic difference. Like it wasn't like a bad or like like a kind of crazy like threw me off thing, but I was just like, damn, I didn't know they were more punk oriented and shit like that.
I think it's called The Boy Who Destroyed the World off of Halloween.
Pro Skater 3.
Yeah, that's how I heard it.
That's the crazy thing too. I played the hell out of that game, and I never bothered to look at the track list until like
later on. There was a boy who had a
and like remember because like my friend and I were talking about it, and then
fire.
Because I used to like put my like music on my friends' iPods and stuff like that back in school, and we were talking about it one day, and he was like, "How the hell didn't you know AFI was a punk band when you like played Tony Hawk?" And I was like, truthfully, I just didn't
know it was them, right? Yeah. That's cool, man. Okay, so skate punk. What does the Casualties fall under? Because I like had a little.
I think I definitely kind of have them there too. Maybe like under like hardcore too.
Yeah. Pretty sick. That's fun, man. Yeah, I had a NoFX stint as well. Fucking rad.
Like everyone, it's like a canon event to kind of go through like a NoFX like era. Like they're just
like I mean, I thought I was a skater. I was terrible, but I loved everything about. I still do think skate culture is like probably one of the coolest.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. Cultures, right? It's just fire, man. Big fan of the extreme sports, I'll say.
Dude, Red Bull Skate League has been insane lately. I feel like the current era of pro skaters and like even just like underground skaters, just like the shit I've been seeing on social media, like from like just like because like I guess like I've gotten support, like I get like kind of smaller pages, and like dude, I'm seeing people do crazy shit nowadays. It's
crazy.
Scary. It's like I keep talking about Tony Hawk, but it's like like the like impossible moves that were in the game. I feel like people are doing those in real life.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like I'm scared.
No, it's cool, man. I mean, Red Bull, like all this stuff. I feel like they're single hand, like Monster too, but like Red Bull really has kept extreme sports alive, in my view.
Monster still does motocross stuff, right?
Yeah, dude. They're both like carrying the torch of keeping this stuff alive. Of course, they make the beverages, but I really feel like they do a lot more than that. It's like a media agency for extreme sports, and I love it. And like they have labels like Beartooth. I don't know if they're still on Red Bull, but like started on Red Bull Records. Yeah, so fire. Cool, man. So I like to ask every guest this: if you have a list or just a few. Some of your favorite breakdowns, because I mean yours are sick, so I have to assume you have a library in your mind of maybe some favorite breakdowns. Oh, let's go!
I'm so excited to answer this. Okay, where do we even start this with? Flow Face Down. I want to say it's another Victim. They have this one breakdown where it's like try and talk shit now, and then it's just like the dun 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 dun.
Okay.
Dun dun dun. That one.
Last guest talked about Float Face Down.
They're such a good man. Rest in peace, Ron. They're so good.
Sick.
Definitely one of my most favorite deathcore bands.
Okay.
I so badly wish I could get a physical copy of any of their releases because I would fucking bump them every day. But
there you go.
I love them so much, man, for sure.
So sick.
What else? Let's see. The one I mentioned earlier from Velemaya, entry level breakdown, entry level exit wounds. The like alternating time signatures breakdown for sure is like scarily good.
Cool.
You know when you can like hear like 20 in your head, but they're all just kind of like overlapping.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like
that.
Dude.
Happens to me all day.
Dude, Dead Planet, Oceano. The one at the end is scary heavy. Where it slows down. A lot of the Oceano breakdowns in general, man.
I forgot when I first heard them. What's that song? The one that like got them.
District of Misery.
Yeah, dude. I was so like, whoa.
That intro is so. I feel like it did so much for like metal too, because like I feel like a lot of bands heard that and like, yo, we should like kind of like because I feel like they were one of the first. Oh, for sure, dude. Something about like the whole like kind of like stuttered like chugs with like blast beats. It hits. It just dude. It feels like a punch in the chest. It's so good.
Yes.
Speaking of Despised Icon, the Pigstool breakdown and Furtive Monologue.
Yeah, dude.
So good.
I love them so much.
Try to think of one more.
I mean, it's a good list.
Okay, I can't remember if it's Our Common Selves or the Depressive Spectrum by Kawanashi, but the one where it's like, what's the difference between breaking down? And that one is just so tough. This makes me want to mosh. And then
I heard them like a few years ago. I was like, what? This band's crazy.
They're so dude. So good. So well written, so good. Just incredible people too.
The gets to break down on your EP, I think track 2. Din din diggin diggin din din diggin diggin din din diggin. It's like melodic, like din din diggin diggin din din diggin diggin.
The Messengers breakdown. I did the China right.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it just sounds so sick though. Like the fact that you're like the melodies moving around. I was like, this is so fire.
I just so badly wanted to write something that would like what's the word to Messengers. Because I remember whenever August Burns already came into the scene, and they like I feel like a lot of people were just kind of like blown away by the whole syncopated breakdown. I think that's right.
Yeah. There's something about it, man.
And also just like the writing on the China too, which is so different because people just usually doing like the whole like half step stuff, but it was just so nice. But yeah, so I definitely wanted to incorporate that.
So fire.
What about you? Honestly, give me some years.
Dude, thanks. No one's ever asked me, bro. No one's ever asked me. The one that stands out a lot is the ending of Through Struggle by As I Lay Dying.
Okay, for sure.
That was my first like. A lot
of As I Lay Dying breakdowns too are just so pummeling, man.
Dude, that was my first time I ever went into a mosh pit. This was at Sounds of the Underground. It was in Mansfield, Mass, at the Xfinity Center. I went in. I was freaking out, just like bumping into people, and my hat fell. And I really didn't want to lose this hat. The Vans hat, I still have it. So this is like, I don't know, 2006 maybe. And I run back in, dude, and this guy's in my way, and I just leveled him. He just flew. And I felt badly, but I saw my hat. It was like under him. And he didn't care. He was like, hell yeah, bro. I was like, yeah, thanks, dude. I gotta go. So I'll just never forget that. I think one of them that really I always went back to is the one in Ben Has a Kid by Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, for sure.
The ending of it is just like, okay, that's crazy.
That album had so many good breakdowns.
Dude. Yeah. And like for me, I don't know what to like back then. I felt like a lot of, and it's coming back with all this like deathcore resurgence and like this MySpace stuff, but like a lot of songs had like moments, and like Devil Wears Prada had like moments, like the end of Danger Wildman. You knew what was coming, or like Hey John, like I just like holy crap. Bring Me had so many moments, like fuck you, and in one Sleep with One Eye Open. I was like, yo, this is crazy, or We Will Never Sleep. So I'll say that Diamonds Aren't Forever. Just like when I heard that, everything changed. I was just like,
Oh, for
this
sure.
is crazy. Man, dude. Black My Heart is like a local hardcore band from like the Boston area. These are my friends. I have their back. So some people might know that, some people might not. I'm trying to check think, that out, bro. Yeah, dude, Black My Heart. If you like want to get into, it's like they have one album, Before the Devil, and it front to back, it's just for me, it's my favorite hardcore record by far. Vanna is another band that I love.
Vanna's so good, dude. Definitely.
So yeah, them. Country Boys, goddamn, the breakdown in that. Dear God, call an ambulance. Like, yeah, so just it's like there's just so many things. I'm trying to think of other ones that just like come to the top of my head. It really is a lot of the Devil Wears Prada catalog. I got the poster. I was at the live DVD shoot, man. I was at the live DVD shoot. I didn't know it was going to be, but it was sick.
For Dead Throne
tour. Yeah, exactly, dude. I was there. It was at the Palladium, and I didn't know they were going to shoot. And I was like, wow, I'm going to be in like a movie. This is cool.
I used to come back to the live version of Assistant to the Regional Manager all the time on that album because the intro is so fucking good. Like the way they bends up to the lead, so well done.
Yeah, there's unique band. I can't wait. Giuseppe came on the pod, and we talked about the upcoming Eternal tour. I have to go because
I love their change in sound. Like they've just always
it's good, man.
It's always stayed good.
It's always been good, dude. It's like could have gone one way, but they went like different, darker. I guess I'll say like there's more of a serious tone. It's just like unreal.
I remember when what's it called, South of the City came out. I was so excited, and then it dropped, and I just listened to it like on repeat for like a week straight because I was just obsessed with it. It was I watched the documentary and everything too. I was so hyped for it. It was really well made.
Yep. Big Wiggly style. I mean, it's another Prada song, but Big Wiggly style. The intro, it's breakdown, and like I remember I was at Newbury Comics, and I didn't know that I was obsessed with the Dear Love, obsessed with Plagues. Had no idea because there wasn't much of like Instagram or anything telling me what's coming out at the time, and I see with like Roots Above stickers,
and that was really it,
dude. Yeah, and it's like top picks by the staff at Newbury Comics, and with Roots was there, and it was like $11.88 or some like cool price, and I was like, I had no idea there's a new album. I'm buying this now. Driving home, and then Big Wiggly style comes on. I'm in my 1993 Mercury Sable that I put a stereo in, and it's like. Dude, I literally almost drove. I really did almost drive off the road because I was like, "What?
It's so tough. It still hits to this day.
It still hits, dude. It's so much.
Timeless. That album is timeless, man. Speaking of that album, man, Des Moines breakdown, so fucking tough.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, dude. So much that your headphones came off.
It's so well done. I think
production on it too.
Oh my god! I think it's one of Surge's best mixes ever.
It's so good, man. Like I was just like, so crisp. The drums are so fat. Yeah, big. I used to compare a lot to that.
On that is so good. I still to this day don't know if that's like raw, like Mike out, or if it's what's it called, Slate. Because I used to use Slate a lot back then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just remember being like, "Wow, I wish all album." And I assume like if you think it's cool too, like yeah, there was something about that just sounded unbelievable.
It also makes sense to why he has such like a grasp on the industry when it comes to like his mixes, because like they were like the standard, and like you can see why. I mean, dude, a lot of like I don't know if you remember the like kind of era too, like a lot of like bands like underground bands are like having people like kind of like figure out how to like mimic his sound. Like they also really came close to, and even in some ways had like more different things to them that like I liked a bit more. Like it was just such a dope era. Like you knew the whole like Line 6 Pod Farm, Chango Forums era. It was so nice.
So sick. Ooh, Did My Time by Korn. Now
crazy.
Live, and I wish they played it at the tour, but they like did like a lot of the catalog, like a lot of old stuff, which was sick. But when they play Did My Time live, after that like section in the middle where it's slower, like I feel so insane. I really try. I did my time. And he goes live. They slow it down. So he's like, oh, I did my.
That's crazy. I gotta check that out for sure.
Look up
Is like
Did
a
My Time live.
Or...
Yeah. And then do one from like 2016 at like Rock Am Ring or what's one of the fests. You'll see it. It's just like.
It's always Rock Am Ring that has like the great live versions.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a live. I got to tell you right now. There's a full Nelson live video by Biscuit. I'll put that song like that. Yeah, the burn this motherfucker down.
Yeah.
I'll put that up there, bro.
That's so heavy. That is so punchy,
heavy.
man.
So I look it up real quick. Now. Oh, we got the fire. Okay, Limp Bizkit Full Nelson live at Finsbury Park. I'm actually going to send it to you right now because I need you to listen to it.
For sure, man.
And it actually isn't Wes playing at the time. I think he left for a bit. So I don't forget who this dude is, but still rips. And his stage presence is crazy. But yeah, one of my favorite things I've ever seen. So sick, dude.
Awesome, man. I'm so excited to check that out for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, let's wrap it up. What you got coming? Sounds like you have a full length. So what can people expect, and where can they hear your band?
You can find us, or you can find it, or I don't even know what the word is. It's on all platforms.
Cool.
Filming should be coming out at some point within the next year. It has some stuff coming out in between it too. Got 2 tracks and hopefully try to do a split with some friends.
Sick, dude.
Super excited for that.
Awesome. Wow, man. This was fun.
Thank you so much for having me on. I had a great time, man.
Bro. I knew I was like, dude, this kid rips, and I bet you he's gonna have some stuff I don't know about, right? Just seeing the artwork, I was like, this is different. This music is rad. Let's talk. So yeah, this was great, and I hope you all listening go check out Wocket Launcher, WOCKET space launcher. Look it up on whatever platform you have. I'm on Spotify, and the EP is just Demo 2024. And it rips. So if you like metalcore, if you like shreddage, if you like deathcore, and just like all things that are sick and heavy, you got to check it out.
Appreciate you, Tom, man.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'll be in touch. And again, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. You have a great one, Moss.
You too. Later.
Take it easy, man.